Great stuff. Was it, in terms of the quality, we expected probably a little bit better overall, but the Germans will be relieved.
Yeah, I think they will. In the end, I think we'd all sit here and probably say it was a fair result in the end. I think we came in Spain probably a little bit after the first game, you consider them favourites, but I thought Germany grew into the game, and in the second half, they looked very good and looked like the team more likely to score goals. But Spain, for me, is still one of the standout, going to be one of the favourites to win this tournament.
It's another example, Mauricio, of a team, great performance. Next game, not quite so easy. I know it's different opposition, but it's World Cups are tough.
Yes, no, it's the World Cup, and it's not easy to keep some level, no, like Spain show against Costa Rica. German is a great team, good player, tough opposition. And today I am a little bit worried about the Spain because after the rest of Costa Rica, I said, no, expectation was massive, but now some weakness, some.
What are those weaknesses? Possibly in defence. I mean, Rodri's a great player. We've seen him as a holding player, but is he a central defender? They feel
under pressure in faces the game. I think when German go high to press and to force them, try to find solution in the build-up, and then it's some problems, some mistake and then in the second half it's true. German finished the game with better feeling
stronger
than Spain.
We talked about the importance of substitutions before the game. Hansi Flick brought on Füllkrug, and he turned it round. You could say Füllkrug had a champagne moment if you want. But
yeah, I mean, he gave it a go, and surprisingly, he didn't bring in Havertz. Obviously, he was waiting for his moment. Made these changes. Changes had an impact. Also, Sané with the few touches he had, but they were decisive touches.
Yeah. Tell us about him, a little bit about him, because obviously he's not a player that's been at the top for a free. He was in your version of the Championship not long ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, or he is with Werder Bremen, and was promoted then. Did well in the second division, our Championship, and made it into the roster. Probably made it only into the roster because you get 26 players to go to the World Cup in this tournament. But he is a number 9 at least. You know, what he's doing is scoring goals, and that's he did that today. And this is a brilliant moment for the kid.
It just shows you. Everyone else would have probably sitting here saying, Havertz, where's Havertz? We were even saying it in here, why isn't he coming in? This guy knows his squad. He knows what he needed. Two number 9s came on the pitch today. Mauricio alerted us in it and has changed the game. And he was the finish was devastating.
He had more touches in the box in 20 minutes than Muller did in the whole 70. He had 3 shots, Muller didn't have any. It just turned around. He could be, Jürgen, he could be your Toto Scalacci. You never know.
Yeah,
come out of nowhere.
It would be fantastic.
Have a World Cup.
We need a few ones now against Costa Rica, and obviously a little bit of help from Spain. But we are still in a tournament.
Spain got that first goal. Morata.
Great movement, helping for the central back.
Yes.
I think we were talking about concept, fundament, and it's so important. I think Rio and myself that we play in that position. You cannot lose your focus.
I think you look here, Sule, you look at him in this position here, he's facing his own goal, can't see the player. If can't see the ball, he's facing his own goal. That moment there, you've got to get your arm out. It's got to be like a metal bar. Don't let the striker get across it. His body position puts him at a negative already in that situation. And when Morata gets in there, he's shown in the past he can finish. It was a really good finish. Good move from Spain, but if you look at it, you break it down from a defensive point of view, you'd like to think that should be stopped. I don't know why.
Why would he looking in that direction? Why? He's obviously that's caught him out because we all know a defensive position there. He's got to stay ahead of the striker, hasn't he, Mauricio?
I think he loses his focus. I think maybe, I remember big central back like we were watching. It was Puyol here, no? Puyol. The quality was focus 95 minutes. Never lose the focus. When you are on the pitch and you are a central back, you need the first quality is be focused and concentrate. Because that was thinking what series we are going to watch tonight. No,
it's one of the hardest things to master though, as a player, defender especially, to be concentrated for the full 95 or so minutes, so that you don't make them little mistakes that are fundamentals.
It's probably 105 5 minutes.
Yeah,
A lot of
it's
these
going
games in
crazy
this
at the
one, but
moment,
it wasn't quite so many minutes today. Spain could have sealed it, couldn't they, with Asensio opportunity?
Yeah, they could have sealed it. They had it after Morata's goal. They had it in their hands. You know, this is a beautiful counter-attack. He's coming in from behind, and this he could have controlled it. You know, set it up nicely, and then putting down a shot like Messi did.
Is that difficult to do that first time when it's coming straight at you, cut back like that?
No, I've seen a lot of balls flying over the crossbar in this World Cup. I don't know whether I hope we're not going down that thing we had in, was
South
it?
Africa.
2010 South Africa.
Yeah.
What was the ball called? Jambalani or something?
A balloon, whatever it was. A balloon.
Jambalani, yeah. The balloon, yeah, the balloon.
They might blame it on the chip in the ball now.
No clean sheet in 8 games, competitive games this year for Germany. Is that a concern?
It is a concern, yeah. It's a group of players that just simply growing right now. I mean, with Nico Schlotterbeck, for example, that did the mistake against Japan. Now he came back on. He looked sharp today. We haven't found the ideal back four yet. You know, so he's just switching on the sides. The fullbacks are not kind of sealed yet. You know, I remember 2014 when they won in Brazil. They played 4 centre backs at the end of the tournament, and we might end up in this tournament as well if we go through. Hopefully, with 4 centre backs as well.
It's the first time in World Cup history that Germany have not won one of their first 2 group games. Amazing. It just shows you how consistent they are. Yes. But they're still in the tournament, and that's what you've got to be. Can you see that Germany side winning a World Cup though, realistically?
No, not for me.
Very difficult, but I think it's a group that is now growing, and I think if they go, hopefully now through the group stage and make it until the semi-finals, that would be huge. Yeah, but winning it, I think it's probably reserved for other teams.
Yeah. Rodri came in. I mean, obviously he plays normally. We've seen him down in Manchester City every week playing that holding role. He's brilliant, isn't he? He's a big figure. But it's not automatically a given that you will settle as a central defender. And there are a couple of things that you could see possibly a weakness there defensively.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere you can. It's concern for you, but in the main, I think he's been very good. I think, but it gets to a point where you go, oh, this is brilliant from Musiala, by the way. I thought was Germany's best player. But it's this area, it's very similar to the Morata goal. The forward coming from behind you, and it's about having the awareness and opening your body to see ball and man. Very difficult to master that area, and most don't. But he gets this right in the end. But another striker maybe who's quicker.
Yeah. See, the striker there actually runs too late. If he goes earlier there, he's waited to see where the ball's going.
Because that clip there, you can see Rodri's on his heels. Yeah. He's not on the forward movement to get to it. But the thing with Spain is they try and dominate possessions to alleviate those type of situations happening often.
We can hear from the Spanish goal scorer, Alvaro Morata.
Let's get him on.
Alvaro, what an impact. Is that what you dreamt of last night when you went to bed?
Yeah, always when we are in the bench, we are focused on this, on maybe we are important to change the game, and it was like this, but it was a tough game because Germany, they have an amazing team, and I think it was a really good game. Two teams that it can be a semi-final or a final of a World Cup.
What did Luis Enrique say to you before you went on?
No, just play like all the times, help the team to keep the ball and attack the spaces, and this is what I do.
Is it difficult coming off the bench for you? Would you prefer to start?
No, it's the same. The most important thing is to win, and tonight they scored an amazing goal, and lucky we didn't have the victory, but from tomorrow we keep training, keep pushing, and with good vibes and with positive.
Lastly, the group is obviously in your hands. One more game to go. How do you feel going into that game?
Japan is a tough team. They run a lot. They are good tactic, and I think it's another hard game. We are in a World Cup. Everyone can see all the games are crazy, and we hope to win and to be on the next round.
Thank you very much, Alvaro. Appreciate it.
Morata has a combined total of 8 goals at the World Cup in Euros. Only David Villa with 13 and Fernando Torres with 9 have netted more at major tournaments for Spain. He scores when it matters.
No, he does. He enabled them to qualify. His goal helped Spain get in there off the bench again, and I think he's done it again today. He's come off the bench. Substitutes in tournament football are imperative. You need good subs to come on and be able to grasp a game and make an impact, and he seems to be one who's capable.
Musiala's a really exciting young player for Germany, no question about that. He had good opportunity to score, though, didn't he?
Yeah, I think
Perhaps
he
should have done better.
was the outstanding player in the German side, and at such a young age, because he's full of surprising elements. He's not scared, he's fearless, he knows his runs, and here he's a little bit calmer, finishing
Could
it
he have
off.
squared that, do you think, possibly?
Yeah, I think so. He could have put it in a far post, you know, if he's a little bit calmer. Keeps the ball down, maybe.
You're not squaring that.
There's absolutely no chance that there's
You would have scored. That's the difference. That's all that
bottom
matters.
left.
Whether you square it or not, all that matters.
Tell Messi he puts it there.
Yeah.
No, obviously Musiala is a fantastic young player that grows now through the Bayern Munich system, and exciting, absolutely exciting. And this is his first World Cup, and I think he will only get better. He will only grow more and more.
What do you think to him?
For me, he's one of the most talented young player. I think he's 18-year-old. It's fantastic with Gavi, with Bellingham, I think Pedri, of course. A massive talent. I think it's going to grow during the World Cup. I am thinking that Germany can surprise.
You changed your mind now.
No, I changed my mind after the second half. I changed my mind.
Well, they do tend to. History tells you never rule them out. Obviously, 4 years ago they struggled. The winning goal. But not the winning goal, the equaliser. But it felt like a winning goal for Germany. But of course, he smashed it in, didn't he? Give it a good thump.
Well, it was an amazing strike. I mean, it's devastating finish in the end. And you look at it, Sane, similar to the chance that Musiala had. This came around a similar way, and they had the warning before. And you see, Laporte is rolling this goal. Me and Mauricio were scratching our heads here. You see him there. Busquets is going to the man on the ball, which is fine as a centre midfielder. Now Laporte runs inside and leaves the man who ends up scoring, Füllkrug, and he should just stay with his man, stay in his slot, and this goal doesn't happen. Yeah. But from that point on, it's all about a number 9 being in the penalty box and just knowing how to finish. And that's the difference between this finish and Musiala. Yes. It's a real number 9 there. Devastating.
They made the difference. They feel the goal, they feel the net, the instinct, a killer. But that is why we saw Musiala action before the chance. I think Spain, when you force the line defensive of Spain, I am not sure about if they can show the same consistency that was Costa Rica. That is only my point. That we'll see what happened during the.
Every team has a possible weakness. Right, little quiz question for you. You can go for this one at home. I'll just give you a few seconds. He was the first German substitute to score in a World Cup game since. Last German substitute to score in a World Cup game.
Jürgen.
Mario Götze.
Oh, the final.
In the final in 2014.
Yeah. Is that a good sign?
I don't know what it means at all, Jürgen. Really, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good sign or not. But it's a better sign because at least now you've got a chance of going through. You still would have had a chance even if you've lost, but it would have been considerably more difficult. Leroy Sané, good to see him on the pitch. He's obviously been out. He's not been able to play in the first game, and he had an opportunity. Yeah, Jürgen as a striker.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he just totally misjudged his positioning. Yeah. He should have gone straight towards goal, maybe go to the inside, looking for a solution there, or even try to chip the goalie right there. And he chose, unfortunately, the wrong way.
There just wasn't enough room behind the goalkeeper, was there, to go around him?
It shows you that there, what Mauricio was talking about, the Spain back line, how disjointed they were in that situation. If you have time to play through the lines against them higher up the pitch, when you win it, they're not as comfortable.
We can hear from Ilkay Gundogan.
Ilkay, you really needed that one, didn't you?
Yes, we needed that. Probably was meant to be also in that way. We could have scored earlier. We scored, unfortunately, got disallowed, but we had a couple of really, really good chances as well. Maybe if you look just at the chances, we were a little bit better in that terms. But I think at the end the result is fair against a very tough Spanish side. So yeah, now it's all about the last game of the group stage.
What were your emotions when that equaliser went in?
Well, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, a competition, you know, like the World Cup, playing such a tournament, you already know before that it's going to be dramatic. You know, some games are going to be full of different momentums, up and downs. But I was already on the bench, and I was talking to Thomas Müller, and we felt that there's still a goal for us in the game, you know. And then obviously the way Niklas scored, you know, the finish was unbelievable. Typical striker, I would say, typical number 9, and he stepped up when we really needed it. And yeah, we are very happy about that.
You're still alive. Good luck in the next game.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Alex South posing the questions for us there. Who would be the happier manager?
Flick. I think 100%. The way they finished the game, I think that's always important as well, that you finish the game on the front foot. Confidence levels are higher, definitely, than when they started the game. So I think Flick would definitely be happier. Not that Luis Enrique will be disappointed, but I just feel that the Germans will be definitely on a more spring in their step.
Yeah, it's funny how momentum can shift in tournaments.
Yes, I think so. Yes, the game, at the end of the game, I think Flick is, for sure, is so happy. And the gap to improve is massive for Germany.
Yeah. Germany definitely spring in your step now. I can see that.
You're bouncing around the studio.
Bouncing, jumping around when you guys alive.
No, I mean it's huge. It's huge. This goal is huge from Fulkrug. I mean, now I'm very confident that Spain will get the job done with Japan, and Germany gets into the next round. Inconsistency is a key word in this World Cup so far. You saw a lot of teams playing maybe a brilliant first game and then struggle in the second game, or vice versa. Certain elements we discussed, like the number 9 issue, is big for a lot of teams here. They're lacking it. A lot of nil-nils we've seen so far. So the trends are interesting.
We're about done here, but don't go anywhere. We'll talk management on the iPlayer in a moment. But that's it for BBC One.
So the trends are interesting.